So before we talk about Sunday's game, I want to go back a week to before against Green Bay when you put up a career-high 226 yards from scrimmage in a game where you became the first player since the merger to score a TD on the first 4 possessions of the game. I know you're looking ahead, but if I could get you to look back, what do you remember most about that game against Green Bay?
It's special. Playing Green Bay in Minnesota, it's so special. Winning in Lambeau. And that was big for us, gaining confidence. And that was a big game, for us up front, for getting that many yards.
And then you chase that with a career high 206 rushing yards and a new career high 252 yards from scrimmage on Sunday against the Lions. Obviously, enormous numbers. What do those marks mean to you?
It means a lot. It means just you keep working, you'll get the results, that you're working for. And with me, it's all about, giving those guys up front, my old linemen, the reward that they deserve, and that's scoring touchdowns and getting yards.
Dalvin, you've always been really quick to give the guys up front that kind of respect and that kind of credit, always. What is it about this particular group that makes them so good and so effective?
I think with a good O-line is all about that continuity, being on the same page, having that understanding of what's going on. I think the guys are starting to understand, what we're trying to get done as far as running the football. And they keep them cut off the ground, too. So, so they got a good understanding of what we're trying to get done as an offense.
Vikings running back Dalvin Cook is my guest. In the build-up to the game, Lions running back Adrian Peterson called you, quote, a lethal weapon. Knowing how much you respect him, knowing how much you admire him, how did it feel to hear him say that and then for you to go out and have that huge game that you had?
It means a lot, stepping in right after he left. Just him being that legend he is in Minnesota, and me digging into the history and seeing the things he's done here and left his mark here. That means a lot. A living legend at the position. So coming from AP, that's always big news as a running back.
I'm kind of curious, when you've watched him and admired him for a long time, I mean, he's 35 years old now. He rushed for nearly 900 yards last season. He had a 1,000-yard season the year before that. Like, what have you learned from watching him in terms of how to take care of your body and how to keep producing late in your career?
Yeah, that's definitely the thing that I picked up from it. The consistency, the being available for your team. And, he was that. And, say he's 35, that's 10 years older than me, and he's still, running the ball like no other. So, I picked up so much from him just from watching him as a pro. You don't even know.
Dalvin Cook is joining us. From watching you afar, my sense is you're always going to be confident in yourself and your abilities. But when you're having the season that you're having right now, has your confidence gone to a new level? I mean, does it feel like you can break one every single time you get one?
Yeah, I always felt like that. I think getting the guys around me to believe that was a different change for me. I think the guys around me definitely believe, this can be a home run, every time we touch the ball, and that's what it all comes down to. Me believing that was always a thing for me, but getting the people around me, to believe and understand that was key for me.
Talking to Dalvin Cook, it seems to me also watching you, like you want to be that complete player, that complete back. Like I want to point out that on Irv Smith's second TD, you had this huge blitz pickup that gave Kirk Cousins time to make that play. Head coach Mike Zimmer said after the game, it proves why you're a captain and the guys love you because you can make the huge play, but you love the dirty work as well. Where does that mindset come from?
I'm just wanting to win the football game. I hate losing. That's something that never sits right with no athlete. But, just willing to give it all, willing to do it all, to see my teammates succeed, see my team succeed. And the ultimate challenge is, what will you do without the football in your hand? And I think, without the football in my hands, I can still make a play, and that was a play to be made right there.
We're talking to Dalvin Cook. And in fact, in terms of not having the football in your hand, I would even take it a step further, like when you're off the field or you're around the facility, in terms of leadership and that mentality. You said recently, quote, we got a bunch of young guys and this team is looking for somebody to grab them and show them the ropes, end quote. Obviously, you feel like you're one of those guys. When you were coming up, who were the guys that showed you the ropes when you first arrived, and how are you passing that on now?
Yeah, when I first got here, I had a room that had Latavius Murray, Jared McKinnon, just guys in the locker room. Generally, I had Teddy Bridgewater, Xavier Rhodes, Everson Griffin. All those guys was in the locker room with me. And just seeing a young guy that just wanted to play football, didn't really know. And, just some guys giving me some tips. And I think Jared and Latavius Murray, was the guys that I leaned on the most because they was in the room with me.
Dalvin, what is it about Teddy? I mean, Teddy obviously has overcome so much, and the guy's got like this unbelievable courage and grit and this gumption and this want to. But, man, guys love Teddy. Guys absolutely love Teddy. What separates Teddy from so many other guys? Why do guys love and respect him so much?
I think the guy that just did him. You never see a dull moment from Teddy. We all human. We have our times. But I think Teddy does a great job of blocking the outside noise out and just always keeping that smile on his face to bring joy to others. I think that's why people always just gravitate to him. And, we know the type of player he is on the field, but I think off the field, his personality is key.
I like that. I like that a lot. That's not easy to do. Dalvin Cook joining us. Listen, I understand you're about the team, but you do lead all running backs in so many different metrics. I'm just going to come right out and ask, are you the best running back in the NFL now?
Before any of the stats started, looking how they started looking, I thought that about myself. I always think highly of myself. I push myself so hard. I work hard. I never, talk down on any other running back. I put the work in that I need to put in, and I think I'm still getting better. It's a lot of work for me to be done. A lot of stuff I can unlock as far as my talent. Just got to take myself there, and everybody's confident about themselves, but not being arrogant or nothing. Just got to keep working.
So where can you improve, and how much better can you actually get?
I say it's a lot out there. I watch them and look at the little stuff that I could do better, and it's a lot that I can go out there and help my team do better on.
Dalvin Cook, my guest. I'm going to ask you about Snickers in 1 second. One last follow-up question. When you talk about that work ethic, that grind, I'm always fascinated by that. You don't get to that league or that level without putting in time and doing the work. But that ultimate grind, that separation, where does that come from? Have you always been like that, or did you develop that?
Yeah, I've always been like that. Just seeing guys, where I'm from that was so good and wondering how was they so good. And I had an opportunity to play in the same high school and follow behind the same college as Devontae Freeman, and he was one of those guys that just worked. Didn't have all the stars coming out of high school, but just worked, kept his head down, and just worked. Didn't worry about nothing, just went to work. And the results came from him later by getting drafted and getting the contract and just playing some good football. And I think that's where I got it from.
It's an example. It's a model. It's something you can see that it did work. Now, as I mentioned, you got a lot of accolades coming your way, including the fact that you received the Snicker chain for the hungriest player. What does that honor mean to you? What is the chain all about?
Yeah, it's definitely an honor to be named the Snickers hungriest player for Week 9. And, it's a chain that I've seen guys, this year that's been wearing it. Aaron Jones, I seen Devontae Adams wearing it, Chase Claypool, all those guys. And I think it's an award for guys that's going out there and making some big plays and some big moments on the field. And I think, these past couple of weeks, I've been making some plays that got me this chain, and I think that's what it's all about.
What are the chances? I mean, what's the philosophy, the mindset? Can you get that chain back again in the same season? What would that mean to you?
I don't know the thing behind that. That'd be good, cool. And if I do have another monster game, I think it would be best to give it to one of the guys up front. You never know. So I got to talk to Sneaker.
Dude, you got to take care of the big dogs in front. You know that. You know that already.
Yeah.
You already said that. Dalvin Cook, my guest, he's a Pro Bowl selection. He is having an absolute monster year. He is the recipient of the Snickers chain. He appeared courtesy of Snickers in the Hungriest Player Award today. Dalvin, I appreciate you. I'm glad we finally got you on. Great to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, Jim.
Appreciate you, Dalvin, a lot. It's a good conversation. I'm so happy with that. Dalvin Cook. He has been off the chain. Hey-o. He has been incredible. Incredible this year.